Hello everyone, and welcome back to Pathfinder Kingmaker, with me, McGammar. We're in the middle of a dungeon right now, so there's not really a lot I can give you for Promethean insights. But what I can give you is the room that I missed on the previous floor. There's probably a comment telling me where this was, but I went back for it. Let's see if it was worth it.
What a surprise.
It's a trap chest. Well, the trap alone is probably gonna make this worth it.
I did as you asked.
And we got a helmet. Blue Dragon Skill Helmet. DR5, bypassed by magic. Well, unfortunately, most of the enemies we fight have magic weapons. Or hit us with magic. So that's not the best reward, but I still am glad that I took the time to go and get it. Anyway, I'm going to take the time to go back down the 2 floors to get to where I was, and I'll see you there. And we're back. Okay, so we're back in the Icky Acid area. Let's loot these boxes that we see around here.
Due time.
Looks like a bunch of random knickknacks and bobs. Handful of potions here and there. Nothing too terribly interesting. And around liquor. I'm sure some people would find this interesting.
All according to plan.
Alright.
Right
Just
here, my
in.
friend.
Let's get the buffs going. How long do we have left on all of our other stuff? We still have 8 minutes on Good Hope. Alright, that might be enough time. But all the stuff that Jathal and Amiri had cast is definitely gone because their caster levels are a bit lower. And that's okay. Acid is usually accompanied by poison, so let's do that.
You have my
Cast this, you cast this,
No
and
troubles.
you get us with this, but acid. Not Sonic, acid. And this is why I prepare 2. In we go.
How curious.
Good. Good, we love traps.
I did as you asked.
A little bit of experience. Still can't fail.
Follow my lead.
It feels like the trap got easier.
I shall end this
Oh.
suffering.
How many are there? It looks like 6. It looks like 6. Okay, I think what I'm gonna do, actually, is I'm gonna have the entire party go around this corner over here. Yeah, the entire party can go around a corner. This'll be fine. Wait until everybody behind you goes away first. Yeah, you just run away a little bit. That's a lot of archers. And you know what? Fighting in a doorway with a room full of archers doesn't seem like my cup of tea. So let's just get away from them and make them come to us. This is an expeditious retreat. Yeah, here they come. We're still not ready to go out there yet. Still not ready to go out there yet. We might even want to wait until after the last skeleton. Okay, one of them can see us. You know what, yeah, let's have everybody wait until after the last skeleton. Just, actually everybody. Why can't I delay? I should be allowed to delay too. I guess not. Oh well. No delaying for me. We need to get everybody around the corner. Completely around the corner. That looks good. That looks real good. Go here. Alright, let's start revving. This is what I want. Is that an archer? Yeah, that's... Wait. That's a champion. Okay. Let's cast that Bless, but this time it'll be a Tristian Bless. So we have something that we're allowed to hit in melee now. And we're definitely flanking that. But it's probably going to be immune to acid, so we're going to switch over to Jolt.
You can't stop me.
Okay, they are getting around the corner now. But they are all bunched up. This is to my advantage. This is much better for me. The acid resistance is helping, but we still get crit by arrows, and arrows are still painful. Mm-hmm. Wait, how come I got skipped? Eh, whatever. This will be fine.
Despicable.
Okay, the champion's down. Amir can wait. Okay, so if I keep on doing this, I'm gathering power all this turn. Alternatively, I could just do this. Just put this out right now. This is good. This will be good enough. And now we wait. There's still a couple more that are in the back that need to move into the death field. And now we wait. You guys can just go back and wait. Okay. A room full of skeletons? How about Fireball? You know what? That was fun. Let's do it again. What about second Fireball? I guess there's only a handful of them on the ground now. This is a little bit wasteful. I'm going to do it anyway. And I missed one anyway. So this one's going to get up. How dare you? Am I confused? Ah, that's why I lost my turn then. Okay, well.
Advance.
I guess I'm confused. Only for 8 more seconds. And, honestly, I don't hurt the party very much, so of all the people to get confused, I'm glad it's me.
I'm glad you called.
Let's put rocks behind us.
Something bothering you?
And I'll have Prometheus catch up with the rest of the party later. For now, let's just carry all this heavy stuff. Getting confused.
But of course.
It might be that weird ring I have on me. Oh boy, more skeletons with acid. Is this just going to keep happening? I think so. Anyway, that's a berserker. There can't be just like 500 rooms full of nothing but archers, right? That won't... certainly that won't be the case, right? Oh, right, I forgot to bring myself. It'll be fine. Let's see, that is a champion berserker.
Unworthy.
Get ready to meet it face to face. Make myself a cat. Like nya. Perfect pouncing position. Weirdly, you can't pounce. So just walk into melee with this one. I guess we got a free shot.
Taste my fury.
You can walk into the room. And you can walk into the room. Move on up.
Wretched thing.
For some reason, I wasn't allowed to 5-foot step in full attack. I forgot the Vital Strike. My bad. And he went straight for the back line. Oh, he went for Kinera. Okay, that makes sense. Fortunately, Amiri is a cat. Nasty hit on Jaethal. Hate to see it. Let's move in. Take a shot.
This is going to hurt.
Okay. Everybody get on up.
In due time.
More random loot. Any weird doors? Any weird chests? No funny business? Just everything corroded in acid. Stewing and steaming. We hate to see it.
Submit.
Ah, good. That is a good place for a defender to be. Just put yourself right next to the door. Let's buff the Spyodon. Can you? Yes. Delete that one. Do we get to see more in the room? No. No, we do not. And we cannot move past our Spyodon because our Spyodon too big. We are also too big, it seems. I cannot see any additional threats. There has to be more in here, otherwise we'd be out of combat, though. So let's just get in here. Ah, archers. Of course it's archers. Why wouldn't it be archers? Go take cover behind a pillar. I don't think it really has any statistical benefit in this system, but we're gonna try. Ah, there's tables. Oh, you can actually just get there. Nice. You cannot.
Despicable.
But we can get around. Be ready for it. I think it's a skeleton that's immune to the... Yeah, it's immune to cold. So Prometheus' special bow doesn't work here. That's okay, though. We still got rocks. Good enough for me.
That is not far.
What's in this box?
Oh, look.
Bonus box. Had a couple of potions of protection from evil. Not the worst. Got a door up here.
As it should be.
Got two choices of places to go. Let's try up. Probably gonna be another exact same situation that we had previously.
State your desire.
Go ahead and use your false life again. Use the last of the Charon bracers. Buff yourself up with this.
Time's not
And I'll get
waiting.
everybody with a soothing performance. Okay, we weren't immediately greeted by death. This seems extremely suspicious, just having a treasure chest in the middle of an empty room. Let's quick save. Let's quick save before we interact with this. This doesn't look good. Like, everything about this looks off.
I thought you'd never ask.
So let's fire blindly.
You cannot stand against me.
Okay, alright. Ghostly Guard. Ghostly Guard. I don't see any over here, but that doesn't mean there aren't any. Ghostly Mage Guard. Okay, that's priority number one right there. I can't pounce. But I can get in the melee. If I can get all the melee into melee, that'll be worth it. Buff Jathal. They're all probably going to be completely immune to all my nonsense. I can throw sound at them, though. Let's get the one closest to us. Can you pounce? Absolutely not. But you can get in there. You can be ready. Let's throw another fireball at these two. Ah, okay, they have a feature that makes them, if they've made their reflex save, they take no damage. Okay. Okay. Hate that. We don't want this one to get a turn. I could try and knock these guys down again. Or I could just double down and try and go for the mage. I'm gonna go for the mage. What do these guys do? Fortitude save on their attack. Okay. Probably has level drains and such. That's nasty. That's 5 foot away from you. Not a big fan of these. Not at all. Let's throw yet another fireball at them. But they're good at reflex saves, aren't they? What's another answer that I could do against a ghost? What's something I could do? Well, I think I might have pits. No, I don't think I have pits. I have genie kind. That's not going to solve me here. And I don't have anybody to buff a melee weapon of in melee right now. Let's do a flame strike. I think they can reflex save this, but let's try it anyway. Nope, they made their save. Nothing. Alright, I can step away. And I can try to blast you guys with sound. Sound just works. Even if they make their save, it still does some good stuff. I really want to finish off this mage. Okay, the mage is finished. Love that for me. Alright, Octavia, I think this might be a situation where you cast, yeah, this looks like a greater invisibility situation. Yeah, get yourself with that. Oh, there was more of them. Really don't like that corrupted attack they got.
Advance.
Alright, you're here in melee. Let's step this way. Gotta handle the ones in melee first, with the ranged. Okay, then the melee can deal with itself. So we have flanking here. Okay. Let's buff Smilodon. It seems like the best move I got. Blast this one with sound. I probably should have went for the one that had less health. That way the enemy would have less turns. These things have spell resistance. They're high-level rogues. Okay, alright, that explains that. Defense. Immune. Just negative energy. Okay, so they're not like the skeletons that are immune to cold. Nevertheless, I think this might be... This is either going to be a Scorching Ray or a Hellfire Ray situation. Let's use Hellfire Ray, because I don't like you. Okay, that did something. I'll have to take a look at the Smilodon stats when we're done with this. Oh, that could have been a lot worse if we didn't realize that there was a wizard in the corner. Alright, where are we suffering? It looks like not much. It looks like that could have been worse. Like, there was definitely some drains going on. I think we just rolled really well. It doesn't look like anybody has any, like, lost levels or lost stats or anything. So I got out of that probably a lot better than I could have got.
All according
There's still a chance that this chest is trapped, though. So after that nonsense, I'm going to make a quick save. I thought there'd be invisible enemies in the corner. It's not the first time the game's done that nonsense. It's also entirely possible that there could have been nothing there, and that opening of the chest would have triggered, like, some kind of summoning thing. Which is another thing that the game's done before. So our reward for that is... a shiny helmet. +2 insight bonus to AC. Well, don't we have 2 of those now? No, we just got a different helmet earlier. No, the clear vision is just this, but better. Huh. Well... not all rewards can be the best. Sometimes you just get a lesser version of something you already have.
We will be victorious.
Ah, this is much closer to what I was expecting from the other door. Well, this is just gonna keep happening. Let's roll with it. And I accidentally moved into my Smilodon's way. I think I'm allowed to charge through myself, though. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Let's make this provoke. One less archer to deal with. Honestly, the archers are really annoying, so... skeletons really aren't anything. Even if they are buffed up by this acid aura thing, like, these things aren't that bad.
This body holds no more.
I say as Jaethal nearly dies. I did forget to have her buff again, so that's on me. You're about to get a turn. Let's, Scorching Ray you. One less turn. Who's about to have a turn? You? Yeah, can we somehow not let you have a turn? I don't think Amiri is going to be able to do it. I do have many fire snakes. Can I angle the fire snake in such a way that it hits both? No. I could have, but I didn't. Magic missile. Can you? Yes. Yes! A thing of beauty. Blast. I accidentally hit Amiri with that. Good job, me. I didn't see that archer in the back.
Burn.
Less attacks for them. Less attacks. No attacks is the best amount of attacks I can give the enemy. For a measure of your control and damage, that is what I seek to achieve with every combat. Okay, so Jaethal's almost dead again.
Ask.
Do I have a nice, do I have an inflict wand? Do I have a wand of inflict? I think I do. H. Inflict critical. Yeah, that's yours.
Share your will.
Topped up nicely. But I do need to remember that, you don't have... Okay, you are buffed by shield, but not for very long. But it does look like Blur fell off. And that is an important part of your defenses.
You should take a look.
Hidden door?
I like what I
With a
see.
hidden trap behind it? With an obvious unhidden shrine?
Done and done.
DC 29. Who's good at religion? Tristian, obviously. Tristian...
I'm listening.
Quick save. I might roll a 1.
It is done.
We got it. What did I roll? I rolled a 6. Okay. Pretty happy with that. How about the treasure box? Holy Gnome Hooked Hammer plus 3. Well, if I had somebody specializing in a Gnome Hooked Hammer. What can you do?
In due time.
Maybe if it was properly a double weapon in this game. Even then, I don't think I've ever had a character use a Gnome Hooked Hammer. Neither enemy nor player.
What a surprise.
Is this another ghost room?
I did as you asked.
Easy DC. Oh, that's just the way down.
Follow my lead.
Do we get any notes here? Did I miss something? Oh, there is loot there. Okay. Like, we can't... Okay, it was on the shrine.
That is not far.
So I didn't get... Okay. There's a note. There's the note. Okay. Ranger's Diary. I've got bad news for the elf. I have to tell him that his wife was still alive when he blocked the passage and fled the dungeon. Our expedition is the third one to be gathered to recover the wife's remains from the caves. The first two didn't even reach the rubble. We were lucky ones. We've been wandering these halls and passages for over a month. We fell back when we encountered groups of monsters that were simply too powerful to face. They crept back to pick them off one by one, or look for ways around them. Finally, we made it. I don't know how the elf even found this place. So much time has passed, a few dozen years, I think. But he managed it. He cried out for our kineticist, and nodded to a pile of boulders blocking the passage. Clear the path, he said, then stepped aside, and turned his back. I suppose he was remembering the monsters dragging his wife into the darkness, as he crawled away and blew the passage with his last remaining bomb. Once they'd opened a small hole in the rubble, I crawled in to see what was on the other side, as I'm the party scout. When I reached the other side, I knew right away that something was wrong. Someone had clearly tried to clear the rubble from the other side. I kept exploring and found signs of an old battle. There were scorch marks on the rocks from alchemical bombs, and walls were scarred with sword strikes. And I found it, an abandoned camp with makeshift tools where whoever had tried to clear the rubble once lived. After exploring the camp and collecting a few things, I'd become almost certain that this was the elf's friend. I'm telling you, it's a curse to be a scout. You take the greatest risks, and you're most often the one who delivers the bad news to the party. Shame on you, dragon. You might have warned me about this. Or maybe you didn't know. The elf seemed to take the news calmly. You can't tell whether he's devastated. He's just pale and silent. Scarcely says a word, but his black eyes flare from time to time. I call him Grandpa, though the elf looks younger than me. He pays me back by calling me Red. Well, at least he talks to me sometimes. He barely acknowledges the rest of the party. I have a feeling that he's decided to find his wife's bones and then just lie down and die there beside her. He paid us up front, so it shouldn't bother me, I suppose. Should it? We're done clearing the rubble, and we're making our way forward again. I found a second camp. I think the woman withdrew here when she realized that she was never going to be able to clear out the rubble. The place is situated beside an underground lake, and there is much more comfortable. There's a hearth made of stone, rough shelves, a sleeping nook made to keep away from cold that creeps in from the water. The cave walls are covered with mosaics made of pebbles. The woman made all sorts of things, flowers and figures of animals, the sun and the moon. I looked at it all and didn't know how I'd even bring the elf here. Everything here suggests that she survived, and never gave up. She was waiting, and waiting for a long time at that. But the camp was abandoned a very long time ago. I found many footprints of monsters running through it, and something else, which looked very much like... No. I should banish the thought from my mind. When I returned to the others, I heard the scariest sound that one can imagine down in these dungeons. A soft, sweet song echoing down the tunnel. I couldn't make out any words at that distance. I ran, glad of my escape. I will tell them I found an empty camp, but we should avoid the place. It's far too dangerous. We don't want to encounter the wicked Chanter, do we? No, we don't. Even the dragon warned us what a terrible monster it was. And if we stay well away from the underground lake, the elf will never have to see the mosaic on the wall. So who is the wicked Chanter? It sounds like it's either that guy's wife or... No. No, it has to be something else. I think I know what it is, but... that doesn't mean I have to like it. Oh, is Amiri exhausted? Yeah, okay.
Right here, my friend.
We have a fix for this. We have a fix. It's called Scroll of Heal. But I have to find it in the massive list of stuff I have. I have way too much stuff, and I'm probably never going to use any of this. But I like having it. I like having it, okay? Did that burn the scroll? Yeah, it did. It's okay. We still have mass scrolls.
All according to plan.
I'm not even using heal really for the healing. I'm using heal for the... makes you not tired. It's like coffee. It wears off quickly, but it saves it off for a little bit. Okay, it's a water floor. Given that the element is cold and not water
As it should be.
in the system, this probably means that we're going to get pushed around. This might be like the combat maneuvers floor. Check the walls. Don't see anything.
Due time.
Don't see anything. That's fine.
Speak.
2 minutes on the Good Hope. 2 minutes. 2 minutes on the shield. Just rebuff the shield. Get a mirror image in too.
That is not far.
Okay, we open the door. Okay, everybody can fit into a slightly bigger room. You transform. Manticores! Are we still protected against poison? Yeah, for a good long while, too.
Follow my lead.
Okay, that's not too close.
Command me.
Charge up. And throw the rocks. There's gotta be something on the other side, too. Let's put them over here. Don't know why it's going that slow. Try making it faster. Okay. We tripped the Manticore. We just want to get into the room, but we can't yet, because there's a giant wad of melee in the way. So we wait. You get in flanking position. Can you bounce? You can bounce. Can you pounce? No, you have a giant wall in the way. You also have people blocking you and keeping you from getting out. Go ahead and wait. We'll get people out of the way. Still taking the long way. Doors are weird. Okay, now you can get out. You're ready to receive enemies coming from the other side.
Wretched things.
Okay, that one's gone. Up you go. Pretty sure manticores normally have the ability to throw spines. I'm not sure why manticores don't do that in this game. Then again, getting out of the fire was probably the smartest move that thing could have did.
I am ready.
Okay, generate rocks behind us. Oh, I got her with it.
I'm glad you called. Follow me. What's taking so long?
Gotta get her out of the rocks. I made them too close. That's my fault. It's not the first time I messed up, and it's not the last time. You know what? Let's drink a couple of potions. No, I did not do that on purpose, specifically to drink potions. Okay, what's in the box? A couple of mundane junk.
All according to plan.
All these potions and stuff are great to receive when we're level like 5. But now we're higher level adventurers, and it's just like, yep, more scrolls.
How curious.
More scrolls and potions. It's not the worst. The worst loot I can get is like teacups, which, to be fair, I am getting plenty of teacups and spoons. This is actually kind of awful to move through. I am hitting the button to try and speed it up. It's just not working very much. Probably because there's so much water moving on the floor. Was that a Hydra? I thought I saw the flicker of a Hydra over there. Well,
Please, do tell.
back to this again. Let's throw this over here.
Well,
Okay. That appears to have done nothing. So all the enemies are on this half of the room.
command me.
If they do decide to come from the other half, though, now it's blocked off.
I'm not afraid.
Is this room literally just the one Hydra? If this... okay, you know what? This is not the worst thing. I'll happily have my people be here.
Considerably provoked.
This will hurt.
We'll probably still have to deal with some concealment, too. Yeah, there's concealment there. Just try. Yeah, nothing. This is a nothing room.
State your desire.
We're so used to fighting Hydras. The Hydras are nothing for us.
You'd never ask.
Uh,
I am
can you
ready.
put rocks over there, please? I'd like to look at the other corner. What's in the box?
That is not far.
Wand of Cure Moderate Wounds. Okay. Alright. Of all the types of wands to get, I am never unhappy to see a Wand of Cure. I'm sure if I didn't have 5 million potions, I'd find a use for it. And actually, I do have a use for it. It's called Cat.
What a surprise.
Octavia gets in there.
I did as you
All
asked.
according to plan. another way.
Well, we got the jump on them, but they are many. So I think this might be a situation where I just wait at the front door again.
This is for you.
Yeah.
Let's try this way.
Dwemer owlbears. Okay, we'll do one of these with one of these. Okay. Then next turn we'll execute this. So there's more bears in the back. You need a turn to reactivate this anyway. I like this. Oh, there's so many. Oh, you have it too, huh? Yeah, how do you like it?
Despicable.
How many are there?
I'll fight if I have to.
This should do it.
More bears. And one bear is all that can fit in this doorway. Too many bears. That's a lot of bears. Okay, so let's finish my action that I was going to do previously. Even more bears. I can throw a fireball. You know what, honestly, real time mode off. Everybody hold your positions. And you keep on doing this. Where are you going? Hold your position. I think that's it. I think we got all the enemies in the room. Put rocks behind us again so we don't walk into our own death field. That's a lot of bears. I do not feel a single drop of remorse for them, though, because they are all inside the Madness Dungeon, and so they probably aren't real.
In due time.
Then again, we are skinning hides from them, so maybe they are. Or maybe it's that weird metaphysical thing, where the things in here are only real so long as you believe that they are real.
I'm listening.
Do this again. Uh-huh. How about we do this again?
I'm glad you called.
Dawnflower, guide my hand.
Okay, turn-based mode on. I need to get set up. First, I move you over to a side.
A calculated risk.
Okay, we're charging up. That's what it looks like we're doing. I don't know why we suddenly got 2 extra free charge, but sure. Ooh, free Hydra. Oh, that's a very slow owlbear. Easy Hydra.
You can't stop me.
I guess it was flat-footed. These are very slow. I think I'm supposed to not have melee fight these. Yeah, we're good. We're good. We're just fine here. Okay, so hold positions. Keep on trying to cast this thing here. Doing it. They're trying? Okay, they can reach Jathal from there. That's terrifying, actually. But we're good enough. But there's only room for one bear at a time. Hold position.
Flames take you.
Hold position. Apologies for my quietness. I'm playing this like a very slow real-time strategy game right now. Okay, we got him. With some enemies, that's just the way I'm gonna deal with it. And, like, those great big slow, like, I'm gonna kill you if I touch you type of enemies. Yeah, no.
As it should be.
Hide your eyes, sure. Knowledge world check, we're pretty good at those.
All according to plan.
Fairly reliable.
Done and done.
What did that give us? Blessing of the Salamander. It looks like Good Hope wore off.
How curious.
Trap right there.
What's that?
Hidden chest right there. One thing at a time. Trap first. It's a pressing concern.
I did as you asked.
Okay.
I did as you asked.
Ooh. Padded armor +4 and Ranger's Diary, last page. Grandpa, I pleaded, leave me. He looked at me and silently shook his head. It was a long time coming. I'd gone out to scout as usual, spied a handful of monsters, quietly turned to head back, only to find a second pack had crept up on me from behind, as I was watching the first. And then things started happening very quickly. I scurried blind into a side tunnel I'd never explored. They followed me down. I scampered somewhere else and run right back into them. I spin on my heels and bolt for my life, but they got me in the leg, so I'm limping. By the time I hear the song, it was way too late. I had nowhere to turn. I saw her, and she saw me. It was a large cave, well lit by local standards. She stood in the middle and sang, and monsters of all types lay at her feet. Claws, jaws, fangs, stingers, so many that it seemed like one huge beast made of everything that kills. And she was its heart, the wicked Chanter. She is not very wicked, if you listen closely to what she is singing. But then it grew very quiet, and she walked right at me. I pressed my back to the wall, and I'm thinking, this is it. And she comes up to me, lifts her head, and sniffs me. There's nothing living in her big black eyes, except for something mean and wild. How could she grow up in the pitch black of darkness with the beasts and become anything more? She looked at me and her hair. She looked at me, and me at her. And I say, what are you looking at? Never seen a redhead? And I'm thinking to myself that I might have one quick shot, and that'll be it. They'll all attack, and bite, and slice, and tear me to ribbons. A pool of gore at her feet. She reached out and touched my hair. And then she turned around and walked away. All the monsters with her. I found a little nook, crawled inside, and passed out, knowing that if I ever woke up, it would be when something started eating me. But no. I opened my eyes and I saw him. The elf. He'd come looking for me, when the others refused. The scoundrels. He shouldn't have paid them up front. I'd lost so much blood. I thought I'd never make it back up. I kept telling the elf to leave me, but he wouldn't budge. Then I reminded him about his wife's bones, that he wanted it so bad to recover. I told him, if you try to save me, you'll die, and you won't get what you came here for. That was when he finally spoke. You're a fool, Tenderfoot, Red. And I'm a fool too. So he sat right beside me and looked at me with those same black eyes. I've come here over and over, gotten 2 parties wiped out just to find Rivel's bones. I felt like I'd abandoned her in the moment of need. I know her pendant is still here somewhere. It calls out to me and led me here. But do you know what? It was all for nothing. All these people died for nothing. I dragged them to their doom just to drown out my own conscience. And it was only when you went missing, only then I realized. I might take this guilt to my grave, but I'll drag that boy alive from the darkness before I drag out some old bones, even if they are the bones of my beloved. As he was saying all this, his face lightened up a little. For the first time I'd ever seen him. It was like he'd found something for himself, something he could call new. And all I could think of was her wild black eyes. And I knew. I could never tell him now. I'll throw away this book when he's not looking, and I'll never say a word about the song she sang, and the cradle I found at the camp at the lake. Oh, okay, alright, that paints the picture completely. Well, that explains why Xelliren doesn't know her. She was born here. She was born here. Oh, to be born in a place like this. Oh no. I feel like I've missed something.
In due time.
Did I encounter a hidden passage in here? I don't think so. Would it be back in the previous room? Maybe. Either way, I don't want to waste too much more time.
Follow my lead.
Let's go here.
Focus on the goal.
Let's buff properly. Okay, so let's do a remove fear. No. Let's do a good hope.
You can count on me.
I don't have a haste. Let's do... What kind of cool buffs do I got? An echolocation. Let's do...
Please, do tell.
Here I am. See.
Effortless armor. Let's
You have
do
my attention.
a shield. Alright, let's do a blur on self. Let's do a bless for the party.
Outdoor adventures are good.
Let's
for
get an
skin
enlarged
and
person
body,
on
but
Amiri.
they just ruin
Command
the
me.
hair.
I am prepared.
Let's get a remove fear out.
How may I help?
You can get the party with your own haste. Alright, I think that's the best I'm gonna do. I canceled the enlarge.
Wow.
You know what? I don't think the enlarge will matter. Okay. Quick save. And let's go in the door. Okay, that's boss music. I lost my surprise round. That's okay. There sure are a lot of them. A whole menagerie of monsters. This is probably... Yeah, this absolutely has to be the final fight. We'll wait for them to get closer to us. No, that seems like a losing move. That seems like a really bad losing move. Unfortunately, the game is still saving, so it's ground itself to a halt. I really shouldn't do anything while the game still says it's quick saving. Yeah, you see how that green line that's connecting me to the enemy isn't moving? That's because the game is frozen right now. One moment. Oh, looks like we're back. Okay, so I don't want to delay. Let's try... We gotta take care of the enemies. We gotta take care of the enemies as they arrive. So let's try a fireball. Fireball here looks good. Because I think there's another one up there. Yeah, all sorts of nonsense in here. Can't go wrong with a couple extra fireballs. Horse. Right. Let's see what makes this nightmare so great. I can't move, actually. That thing can't get a turn. Okay, let's buff up our ability to hit. And I'm gonna go after this Hodag.
This will hurt. An expected outcome.
Yeah, some enemies are weaker than others. So if you have a menagerie, some of it's gonna be not as good. Oh, what's that coming this way? All sorts of buffs on that. What is that? What is that? A slug. Alright, well, don't like that. Kinda hate that, actually. Let's activate this. Throw out the last fireball. How about all the way over here? Yeah, over here looks good. You know what, how about I quicken a stinking cloud over there? We can't do that, actually. Do we have anything bigger? Anything bigger than a fireball? Anything? No, no. We have to do a third level spell or lower. That's fine. We won't quicken a spell then. It was an interesting idea. Here comes the shambling mound. We don't like it.
Advance.
But we don't have to. Alright, let's step out of the way. Maybe this will let the cat do something. Why can't you just full attack from here? Why do you have to make that long walk? Silly. My Smilodons versus their Smilodons? Why can't you attack? Disgusting. Disgusting. Alright, well, that's fine. Let's erupt right here. Even more cats. A leopard, not a Smilodon. Okay, we still have more fireballs, though. Not gonna say no to that. Can I include the slug in it? You betcha. Yeah, sorry about the leopard. Not sorry. You know what? I have area damage, too. So much area damage. I didn't want to move into melee, but I guess I did. Oh, they're coming at me. Oh, what was that? Okay, that's the Chanter. More horse? Of course. Of course. Okay, the slug spits venom. Don't like that. Let's try blasting it like this. No. No, it just didn't work. Weird. Ah, there's a door in the way. What can you do? What can you do? Let's 5-foot step to this location. We'll deal with this first. Okay, now you can full attack this one. Plenty of hits. Let Amiri get into the room. Still no. We're just too big. We're too chunky. And I have to move all the way over there to be able to take a shot. You kidding me? Is here not good enough? Yeah, this is a clear shot.
Taste my fury.
I don't think we can trip a slug. Pretty confident that's not a thing we can do. Everybody else get back over here. Can I magic missile the slug? Don't know why you have to move there. Slug down. Overwhelming presence. Okay, that's nasty. That's real nasty, actually. So what's everybody under the affliction of? Is this a fear? It's a permanent effect. A creature who fails to save, falls to the ground and prostrates itself, cowering for the duration of the spell. Well, for 2 minutes? Oh, that's ludicrous. That's real bad. Alright, so that's a nightmare. Nightmares are normally weak or immune to fire. So why don't I... You know, I'll buff myself with invisibility, because I don't think... Did I buff her? I did buff her. I don't think she's going to be able to get a good shot with everybody in the way like this. Okay, and that was the floor effect where the bull rush shoved Prometheus back several feet. That was actually a benefit to us. So, good for me. I don't like that Hydra. But I can full attack this nightmare. At least Jaethal made the save. Smilodon didn't. But Amiri did. But Amiri can't get in the room because Smilodon's in the way. That's a greater area dispel magic. Did that get me? Alright, it looks like I can go here. Can I get you with a fire snake? I can. Can I get you with anything else? Hellfire ray? Not enough range. It has to be a fire snake. Okay. She took a little bit of a hit from it. Was our poison... Yeah, delay poison's still on, so that's good. Alright, so... You know what? I need you to get into melee. You might take a hit from the Hydra, that's fine. Vital Strike to a Chanter. Okay. Can you... Only getting one hit. Okay, our turns are coming back, slowly. The Hydra's a problem for people back here. Out of magic missiles. I can throw a fireball. You know what? I think we still resist fire. I think we still have resist fire on. So can I just... No, I don't have any turns. I think I'm nauseated. Another overwhelming presence. Nothing came in. Okay. I gotta get rid of this Hydra. It's in my way. I still can't get into the room. My Smilodon's in the way.
Despicable.
Got you through the layers of the onion. Can you please get through... The Smilodon's just in the way. I can't. I can't. What a problem to have. And you're also nauseated, so you can't see. And you can't get into the room. What did you just try to do? Kick off with a skull mask. Well... Wow, lady.
Advance. Yeah.
Oh, your AC is real high. I really need Amiri to be able to get into the room, but I just... I can't get anyone who can do anything in the room. I can't have him do anything. I would have him teleport the people into the room, except he can't move. Okay, she went for me. There's an owlbear somewhere, I guess. Goodness sake. Oh, I only get one action a turn.
Burn.
Okay, you're close enough that I can do things now. Hellfire Ray.
On it. See, go.
I get a move action. I don't get a standard.
Calm down. This was not part of the plan.
Alright, well, Prometheus is suffering.
Unworthy. Yeah.
All this because I can't get the Smilodon out of the way to be able to have a Miri help. Wait, I can charge through.
Flames take you.
Roll the 1. Okay, that takes care of her. Okay, let's use Channel Energy to get Prometheus to not be dead. I think Prometheus might be confused. No. No, he's not confused. I think he's just terrified. Speaking of terrified, let's see if we can find that owlbear. Ah! It's one of those. Okay. Alright, we'll deal with that later. We'll deal with that later. Okay, so I got the Smilodon through. I got Amiri as the Smilodon through. I need to get you through now, so that you can properly deal with that thing. Okay, you can move around the Smilodon because you're small enough. This will be great. Okay, so... you go up and be ready. You still have greater invisibility on, so I think you're safe. Yeah, Prometheus is doing his best. Okay, now we have this as a problem. So... I'm not going to try fighting that thing in melee. That just seems like a bad idea. Why don't I use Dragon Breath? Pouncing it seems like a bad idea. Let's just move here and switch on over to our bow. Yeah, that seems sensible. You can move up. You ran out of Scorching Rays, but you still have a Hellfire. That seems like a really bad idea. Let's not move that close to it. We're out of Hellfire Rays. We're out of Scorching Rays. What do we have left? I can throw a pit at it. How about this Obsidian Flow? You know what? Just try this. It's a spell. Use it. Damage is damage. We cannot get around the... we can get around the cat. Okay. Prometheus is just out of the fight. That's okay. Big cat... okay, well, Jathal, you're going to be the one in melee.
Wretched things.
Good luck. Let's back away.
Tear them apart.
We can't charge up to... okay, we can charge up now. I missed. Sometimes you roll a 1. You know what? Let's recover my Scorching Ray and try it.
Go.
Solid hit. Not the worst. You don't have the big hitting spells that I need. You can't cast the big hitting spells that I need right now. In that case, why don't you just throw a fireball? Damage is damage. Good job, Jathal. You managed to take a hit. You can't hit it, but that's okay.
They go down.
You know what? Let's drop one of these here. I think it would be hilarious if this thing fell into an acid pit. I have them. It might be too big for the pit, to be perfectly honest, but, like, it would be hilarious. So I'm gonna try. Another fireball. He gets a couple more swings at Jaethal. She's fine.
Advance.
We got it. We win. In spite of myself, we win. That overwhelming presence was fierce. Skin and gather all that stuff. It looks like I got a fancy reward for that, so let's take a look at that. Rivel's Lullaby. This charm, crafted from a seashell, once belonged to a fighter named Rival. As fate would have it, she was buried alive in the remote halls of the dungeon. How curious that the dragon Xelliren never told future explorers that she lived. She might have been delivered from her fate. Once this charm could remember the last words whispered to it at the end of the day. It has long since lost this charm, but the stone still remembers a song it heard dozens of years ago. When you hold it close to your ear, you can hear a female voice, trembling with fatigue, but full of warmth and hope. It sings a simple lullaby. Sleep, little baby, sleep. I'll steal the blossom of the spring. I'll gather clouds from the sky. I'll mix them all with the bright sunbeams. I'll put the bouquet in your dreams. Sleep, my daughter, sleep. Your sleep will be so bright and calm, with laughter, songs, and shining sun. And there in the land of dreams, the two of us will be with him. Sleep, little baby, sleep. Oh!
That is not
So that was the only thing she knew. So that was like there was given power to her words because of where she is. So, oh, the wicked Chanter was just a child who never grew up to know anybody. So all they knew were monsters. Oh, that's terrible. What are you doing? That's in the box.
Done and done.
We got ourselves the Comforter. Two-handed Earthbreaker. Each time this +3 Earthbreaker lands a hit, it heals the wielder 1d3 and grants 1d6 temporary hit points. So you get anywhere from 2 to 9 extra health every time you land a hit with a two-handed mace. And it seems we cannot go deeper. A shroud of swirling darkness blocks the path. It's surrounded by maddening voices. Surrounded by maddening voices, whispers, crackling, screaming, and incoherent phrases in an unknown language. And it looks like Kynira is trying to... Oh no, Prometheus wandered into the nonsense.
all according to plan.
Okay, we're good. We're good. We lived. We got out of it. I don't think I found a hidden door on this floor, but I'm not sure if this floor would even have one. I've gone over time by a lot more than I'm usually comfortable doing so. A lot more than I'm comfortably doing so, but that last fight was a little bit of a nightmare. I could have prepared for it better, probably, if I had known that was going to do overwhelming presence. But I didn't. I prepared as best I could, given the information I had about the situation at hand. I was expecting just lots and lots of monsters. I was not expecting overwhelming presence. I should have rushed into the room and deployed something to head her off. But that just wasn't the case. Let's get the party back up. Everybody's hurt and wounded. I can rest back at the capital. It'll be fine. I do want to talk to Xelliren before I stop, though. It'd also be nice if I sold stuff at the most honest guy, but...
I'm listening. What you want?
I will have the Smilodon go smell. Go sell. Ha! The Smilodon can smell, too. Okay. So let's price descending, get rid of all the mundane junk. Get rid of all the mostly mundane junk. And honestly, I'm never going to use padded armor or this weaker full plate. I'm not going to use, like, normal... I'm not going to use that stuff. Just get rid of it. Offer up all the pelts. Offer up all the weird knickknacks and bobs. Loads of money. What do you got to say for yourself, Xelliren? A giant reptile lowers his head.
I bow to your courage, O fearless mortal. I'll never forget it. I'll never forget you.
I've given peace to the wicked Chanter.
I'm glad to know this nightmare would no longer wander the Tenebrous steppes. She was so reckless and evil, and looked and sounded so innocent, the better to draw her prey into her nets. A rush of madness has passed, and our veil of darkness has been drawn. I managed to go further than ever before into the dungeon.
I found something in a dungeon that downstairs. Sincerity? A woman named Gravel was trapped in a dungeon with her unborn child. The wicked Chanter is her half-elf daughter. Why didn't you help them, Xelliren, before it was too late?
So Ravel was... Trust me, if I'd known, I would certainly have sent help. But I didn't know. I could only vaguely imagine what might have happened to her, and where the wicked Chanter could have come from. I couldn't leave my post. I couldn't avert the other heroes who were risking their lives on the most important quest of all Xelliren, just to check my wild fears.
Uh-huh. Well, I mean, I can't prove that he didn't know. Except perhaps the elf probably would have known. So, like, I still think he's just under... Something isn't right here. So that's 3 for 3. I'm pretty sure the fourth one will call him out completely. So, this has been a long one. Thank you all for joining me along this path. And maybe we'll continue to see each other along this path in the future. Later, Pathfinders.